Okay, good afternoon, students. Maynard, you are recording the class today? Okay, thank you. Okay, students, so today I'm starting with the third unit. In third unit, there are two parts. The first part of third unit is Fourier series. Okay. Now, in Fourier series, you will come across some formulas. So first, I want to revise all the formulas for you, and then I will start with the actual topic, so that once we start solving problems, you will not face any problem. Okay. Now, first of all, I need to tell you, you can give the title like formulae or standard results. Okay. Okay. Now see, when the function is called as periodic, that you know already. Suppose point number one, a function f of x is said to be periodic if f of a plus x is equal to f of a, right? Where a is called as the period of the function. This we have seen in Laplace transform also, students, right? Now you can give some examples. For example, sin x and cos x are the periodic functions. With period 2 pi. Means what? If I write sin of x plus 2 pi, it becomes sin x itself. Or cos of x plus 2 pi, it will become cos x itself. So 2 pi is called as the period of the function. Now the second standard result which we are going to use here is called as even and odd function. Okay. Now what is meaning of even function? All these things already you know, but just I'm revising these things. Even function means what? If in the given function you replace x by minus x, but the other side gives you the original function without minus sign, then it is called as even function. Correct? And for example, what is even function? Cos of x is even function. Then any even power of x is even function. For example, x square, x raised to 4, x raised to 6, x raised to 100, and so on. These are all examples of even function. Because see students, if I replace x by minus x, you know that minus x square is plus x square, right? So minus sign disappears, and therefore it is even function. So if you want to check whether some function is even or odd, you have to replace x by minus x. Okay. Then and how even function looks, it is always symmetrical about y-axis, students. It looks like this. Okay, this is your x-axis and this is your y-axis. So even function is always symmetrical about y-axis. Now odd function is f of minus x is equal to minus f of x. So when minus sign reflects on the right hand side, it is called as odd function. For example, sin x is odd function. Then any odd power like x, x cube, x raised to 5, and so on. These are all examples of odd function. Okay. And it is always symmetrical about the origin. Origin means what? The graph of the function looks like this. This is x-axis and this is y-axis. Okay. Now there are some functions which are neither even nor odd. Okay. So neither even nor odd. For example, suppose I write e raised to x. Whether you change x by minus x or keep x as it is, e raised to x is not same as e raised to minus x, right? Neither it is minus e raised to x. So it will never happen that either the function will remain same or it will remain same with opposite sign. Similarly, any constant raised to x, or if you say x square minus x, these are the examples of neither even nor odd function. Now, if I give you some function, students, for example, suppose I give you
Hello? Ma'am, your voice and video both are gone.
now check.
No. Ma'am, it's very blur.
Now also, straight. Is it better?
No, ma'am.
If it becomes better, tell me. What happened suddenly? Same, students. Now,
Now it's better, ma'am.
better? Okay. So let us continue. Okay, now let us continue. I was talking about even odd functions, right? So I've given you the example of even function. How to check whether the function is even or odd? You have to replace x by minus x on both sides. If you get the same function as f of x, then it is the example of even function. So this implies the given function is even. Okay. Now suppose I give you the example f of x is equal to sine of 2x plus sine of 2x plus x, okay, or plus x cube. I want to check whether this function is even or odd. So what I will do, students, I will replace x by minus x, okay, on both sides. So it is sine of minus 2x and plus minus x bracket cube. Wherever there is x, I am putting minus x for that. But sine of minus theta is minus sine theta, means sine is odd function. So you know that. So minus sign will come out. So it is sine of 2x. And negative cube is negative, because I have told you minus 1 cube is minus 1. So minus x cube. Now from both the terms, you can take minus sign out. And it is sine 2x plus x cube, right? And the bracket, if you observe, it is nothing but function f of x. So what you got here, students? F of minus x is equal to minus f of x. So minus sign is reflecting outside. New students, hope you are understanding this. This is totally new topic I started with. Concentrate. So minus sign comes out and the remaining function is your original function. So what you say? The given function is odd function. Okay. But now, as I said, there are some functions like, for example, x square minus x. In this, suppose I replace x by minus x. Means f of minus x will be equal to what? Minus x the whole square minus of minus x. So wherever there is x, I am putting minus x. Negative square is positive, right? So it will be x square and minus into minus is plus x. So if you observe this, this is neither f of x nor minus f of x, because you cannot take minus sign out and say that it is f of x. So this is the example of neither even nor odd function. So it is not necessary that the function should be either even or odd. It may be neither even nor odd function also. Okay. So this is about even odd function. So all these things you require, students, in solving examples. Okay. Can I turn the page? Anybody is writing? Okay. Now the next point in the formulas, that is point number 3, you can say. If n is an integer, then sine of n pi is always equal to 0. Then sine of 2n pi is also equal to 0. Sine of 3n pi is also equal to 0. Okay. Then cos of n pi is always equal to minus 1 raised to n. So what happens here? Minus 1 raised to n, when you say, then if n is even, then negative square is positive 1. Negative raised to 4 is positive 1. And if n is odd means what? Minus 1 raised to 1 is minus 1. Minus 1 raised to 3 is minus 1. Minus 1 raised to 5 is minus 1. Okay. So if n is even, the value of cos n pi is 1. If n is odd, value of cos n pi is -1. Okay. So connected to this, what will be cos of 2n pi? What will be value of cos of 2n pi? It will be 1, right? Because 2n means even number. If you multiply any number by 2, it becomes even, right? So -1 raised to 2n will be +1. So directly you can remember this. Cos of 2n pi is 1. Okay, no need to check whether n is even or odd because it is 2n pi. Then in the next set, this set of formulas which you know already, 2 sin A cos B, it is sin of A plus B plus sin of A minus B. Then 2 cos A sin B is sin A plus B minus sin A minus B. Then 2 cos A cos B is cos A plus B plus cos A minus B. These are all standard formula, students, which you know already, but just the revision purpose, I am giving you minus 2 sin A sin B is equal to cos A plus B minus cos A minus B. Left hand side is taken minus. If you don't want minus sign, then you can interchange these terms. This will become plus and this will become minus. Okay. This is the set of the formulas for sin A cos B. Okay. Now, there is a rule for product of even and odd functions. Suppose I use letter E for even function and letter O for odd function. Then what happens is even into even function is always even function. Okay. Even into odd function is always odd function. This is not 0, huh? This is O, letter O for odd function. Odd into even is also odd function. And odd into odd is even function. Remember this. You can compare it with plus and minus signs. Suppose for even function you say it is plus sign and for odd function you say it is minus sign. You know that plus into plus is plus, plus into minus is minus, minus into plus is minus, and minus into minus is plus, right? So in same way you can remember this relation between even and odd functions. Even into even function is even into odd function is odd into even function is odd, and odd into odd is even function. Okay. So this is point number 5. Now point number 6, these are famous properties of definite integral. See students, if you remember, integral of minus a to plus a f of x dx is equal to 2 times integral from 0 to a f of x dx if f of x is even function. And do you remember what it is if f of x is odd? Anybody? Jeffin? What is value of the integral if the function is odd within the limits minus a to plus a? Jeffin, can you hear me?
0.
0. Very good. So this
0,
you know
ma'am.
already, right? Yes. So this is famous property of definite integral. But remember students that you can use this property only when upper and lower limit is same with opposite sign. Okay, you cannot use it. Suppose lower limit is 2 and upper limit is 3. And if the inside function is even, you cannot go for this property. Or if the function is odd but the limits are different, you cannot go for this property. It has to be minus a to plus a, minus infinity to plus infinity, minus 100 to plus 100, right? So when the function is even, what happens? See, you have to multiply the integral by 2, lower limit becomes 0, upper limit remains same. Inside function we don't change at all. Okay. So orally you can tell me what will be integral of x cube dx within the limits -2 to +2. It will be 0 because x cube is odd function and -2 to +2 means the condition of the limits are satisfied. Okay. So this way you can make use of this property of definite integral. Now in the next point I am going to give you two famous formulas of integrals which we require. One is integral e raised to x sin bx dx, and the second one is integral of e raised to x cos bx dx. Okay. So you cannot solve this by integration by parts rule, students, because none of the derivatives becomes constant. Okay. So what are the formulas for this? It is e raised to x upon a square plus b square, a sin bx minus b cos bx. Here also outer term is same, e raised to x upon a square plus b square, a cos bx minus or plus, students, plus b sin bx, no?
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Plus or minus here, right?
Plus,
Middle sign? Huh?
plus.
Plus, okay. So these are two formulas which you need to use while solving the problems. Okay. So whenever you are coming for this lecture, see that all these formulas are there with you. I'm not going to tell you the formula. You have to turn the page and tell me. Then next one, there are few more, but which are required, I will discuss with you. I think this, okay, one more thing I want to tell you. One more thing is what you know, it is called as generalized rule. Generalized rule for integration by parts. It is called as Bernoulli's rule. Now see, students, why this rule is required? Because sometimes when you are using your ordinary integration by parts rule, again in the second integral you may get product of two functions. So again you have to repeat the same rule second time for that integral. So if you want to get the integration by parts rule in a single step, we go ahead with the Bernoulli's rule. Okay. Now suppose u and v are the two functions and it is asked to find out integral of this. See carefully. It is u v1 minus u dash v2 plus u double dash v3 minus u triple dash v4 and so on. First thing you observe is there are alternate changes in the signs. First term is plus, second is minus, then plus, then minus. It is called as alternate changes in the signs. You must have observed that I am using the letters u dash, u double dash, u triple dash and so on. These are nothing but, students, derivatives. Derivatives of u. Only u dash means first order derivative. U double dash means derivative of u dash. U triple dash means derivative of u double dash and so on. And you may see some letters with suffixes v1, v2, v3 and so on. These are nothing but integrals of v. So v1 is integral of v, v2 is integral of v1, v3 is integral of v2. So these are integrals of the previous integrals. Okay. So what is the formula? U v1 minus u dash v2 plus u double dash v3 minus u triple dash v4 and so on. So it means that it is first function integral of second function minus derivative of first function integral of second function plus derivative of previous derivative integral of previous integral minus derivative of previous derivative integral of previous integral and so on. Now when we use this formula, when first term is positive power of x, okay, what is the condition here? First term should be positive power of x and second term easily integrable. Easily integrable. See, you cannot apply this formula anywhere because you should choose u such that its derivative becomes constant at some or the other step. Now with example, I will explain this formula, students. Okay, can I turn the page? So for my next class, I'm going to ask you these formulas randomly to anybody. Yeah? So by heart these formulas before my next class. Okay, done?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now suppose it is asked to integrate this. Integral of x square into sine 3x. Okay? Dx. Now you can take the limits also. If you have some limits like 0 to 2 pi. And it is asked to solve this integral. So you can observe that first term is this positive power of x and second term is easily integrable, right? So you can go for Bernoulli's formula. Now what is Bernoulli's formula? Let me write it again. First function, integral of second minus derivative integral plus derivative integral minus derivative integral and so on. Right? Choose u as x square and v as sine 3x. So see how it works. First function, what is integral of sine 3x? Adarsh? Okay, who will tell? Abul? Abul is there today? Abul, what is integral of sine 3x?
Hello, ma'am.
Abul, yes. What is integral of sine 3x?
Ma'am, minus
Hmm?
cos 3x
Minus what?
upon 3.
Very good. Integral of sine x 3x is minus cos 3x by 3. Correct. So first term is done, students. See, first function as it is, integral of second function. Middle sign is minus now. U dash means derivative of x square, right? Now, derivative of x square. Nilay, can you tell what is derivative of x square?
2x.
2x. And integral of cos 3x by 3. Who can tell? Deval, what is integral of cos 3x?
Sine 3x by 3.
So what will happen here? What will be integral of cos 3x by 3?
3x by 9.
Very good. So see students, but this minus sign should carry forward, right? Because integral of cos is positive sign. So it is sine 3x by 3, but this 3 is already there. So 3 3s are 9. And this minus sign is carry forward. Then the next sign is plus. Alternate signs, as I said, plus, minus, plus. Derivative of 2x is what? 2. Now what is derivative of sine 3x by 9? Minus sine 3x by 9. Fazila? Fazila, can you tell what is derivative of minus sine 3x by 9? As integral?
Minus cos 3x by 27.
Again minus sign will come or minus sign will get cancelled?
Plus, ma'am. Plus cos 3x by 27.
Yes, because see, integral of sine is negative, right? So that minus and this minus will become plus, and therefore it is cos 3x upon 3, but this 9 is there. So 9 3s are 27. Now see students, if I go to write the next term, what is going to happen? Derivative of 2 will be 0. And 0 into anything is 0, you know. So you cannot proceed further. And that's why the condition is first term has to be with positive power of x. Because you know that somewhere or the other, the derivative of that term will become a constant. And you have to stop your expansion. Because in the next term,
Ma'am,
the derivative will become 0. Yes?
ma'am, in the second step, if we take minus and 1 by 9 outside, then
Yes. No problem.
then the last part will come as minus cos 3x by 3.
No. Sign should not get affected. See, this is plus, this is minus. Next term has to be plus. Okay, if you want to take minus 1 by 9, but don't make it plus sign here. Signs will remain same, alternate changes in the signs.
Okay.
So, if you want to do some adjustments, you do it in the next step, not in the same step. Okay, you cannot change the original formula. That minus sign, if you want to take outside, take it in the next step, not now. So all of you understood why I am stopping at this term, because derivative of 2 will become 0 in the next term. And then see that it is a definite integral, means you have to put the limits from 0 to 2 pi. And you know that for definite integral, we don't add constant of integral. Okay. So let us substitute the values. First upper limit 2 pi, so it will be what? 4 pi square. Minus sign is there. This 3 you can take out. Now you can do any adjustments. Now it is cos of 3 to the 6 pi, right? Minus minus plus you can do 2 to the 4, 4 pi by 9, and sine of 3 to the 6 pi. Plus 2 by 27 cos of 3 to the 6 pi. Okay. So this is for your upper limit. Minus for the lower limit, wherever there is x, you are writing 0. But you know that 0 into anything is 0. Here also 0 into anything is 0. And plus 2 by 27 cos of 0. So if you observe students, nothing I have done other than substitution of upper and lower limits. So wherever there is x, first replace it by 2 pi. Minus wherever there is x, replace it by 0. Okay. Now what is value of sine 6 pi? Anybody quickly? Just turn the page and see what is the formula. See the
Ma'am,
set
1.
of formulas. Sine of 6 pi 1. Akash?
And 0.
Akash, 0. What I gave you? Which
0,
formula
ma'am,
number?
0.
What it is? 0. See formula number 3 if you are taken down. Formula number 3. Sine of n pi I told 0, right? When n is an integer, sine of n pi is 0. N is an integer here, right? 6 pi. Sine of 100 pi is also 0. Sine of 1000 pi is also 0. Correct? So sine of 6 pi is 0 means this term is gone. Okay? Then what is cos of 6 pi?
1.
1, because 6 is even number. Correct? So you get it as minus 4 pi square by 3 into 1. This term is gone. And here also it is 1, right? Cos of 6 pi. So it is 2 by 27 minus Minus sign in 2 by 27. What is cos of 0? What is cos of 0?
1.
Cos of 0 is 1. Okay, so these two terms will vanish and this will be the answer. So this problem I gave you just, this example I gave you just to understand what is the Bernoulli's theorem, how it is applied. So in most of the problems of Fourier series, we use this formula, students. So if you have understood this formula, then you will not find these problems difficult. These are all lengthy problems, students. So each problem usually come for 10 marks, right? So very carefully you have to solve the integral, the substitutions. Okay, if you do a single mistake, then everything goes wrong. Remember. Okay. So this was Bernoulli's theorem, and now I can give you the formula for Fourier series. All these things which we have done till now were the basics required for Fourier series. Okay. Now you can write the formula for Fourier series. Now basically Fourier series is used to convert the function in terms of sine and cosine terms. So Fourier series looks like this. F of x is equal to a naught plus summation of an cos nx plus summation of bn sin nx from n is equal to 1 to infinity. Okay, from n is equal to 1 to infinity. Okay, the condition is f of x should be the periodic function, and the formulas are given for this in different intervals. What are the different intervals? First interval is 0 to 2 pi. Okay, so you can take it as case 1. Fourier series of fx in the interval 0 to 2 pi. Fourier series will be same. The formulas for a naught, an and bn will be different. Now the formula for a naught is like this, students. 1 upon 2 pi integral from 0 to 2 pi f of x dx. Then formula for an is 1 upon pi here, integral from 0 to 2 pi f of x cos nx dx. And formula for bn is 1 upon pi 0 to 2 pi f of x sin nx dx. And Fourier series is same. You have to put the values of a naught, an and bn in this, and that will be your Fourier series. These formulas are called as Euler's formulas. These are the Euler's formulas for finding Fourier coefficients. What is a naught, an and bn? These are called as Fourier coefficients. And these are the standard formulas, students, to find a naught, an and bn. So if the question comes, find the Fourier series for the following function. What you are going to do is, separately you are going to find out a naught, an and bn by putting whatever is the function given. And then these three constants you are going to substitute in this series. And that will be your Fourier series. It is not at all difficult. Only the solution part is lengthy because 3 times you have to integrate, substitute. Okay. Now in case number 2c, students, the interval is minus pi to plus pi. In place of 0 to 2 pi, now the interval is from minus pi to plus pi. So everything is same except the limits here. See, a naught will be what? 1 by 2 pi minus pi to plus pi f of x dx. So if you compare with this formula, it is same, isn't it? Only here limits are from 0 to 2 pi, here limits are from minus pi to plus pi. Similarly, in an what will happen? 1 by pi minus pi to plus pi f of x cos of nx dx. And Bn will be equal to 1 by pi minus pi to plus pi f of x sin nx dx. So the set of formulas are similar except the limits. So in the beginning I told you, if you are good in integration, you won't find this topic difficult. Okay? Still 10 minutes are there. We can solve one problem. Simple problem will take first students just for practice. And then I will take some other problems. Done? Anybody's writing? Okay, so these are all questions which I solve in the class are from your question papers. This was asked in 2-3 semester papers. Find the Fourier series. Find the Fourier series of f of x equal to x square in the interval 0 to 2 pi, and hence deduce pi square by 12 is equal to 1 by 1 square minus 1 by 2 square plus 1 by 3 square minus 1 by 4 square and so on. Okay. So as I said, students, these type of problems come for minimum 8 marks, maximum 12 marks. Okay. Now, what is your Fourier series? F of x is equal to, what is f of x here? X square, right? So x square is equal to a naught plus summation a n cos nx plus summation bn sin nx. This is your equation 1. N is 1 to infinity. So even if it is not given 1 to infinity, you have to always assume minimum value of n is 1, maximum value of n is infinity. So this is your Fourier series. Provided you find out values of these Fourier coefficients, right? How to find these Fourier coefficients? You have ready-made formulas for these three. Which interval? 0 to 2 pi. So first set of formulas you have to use. Okay. So now let us find a naught first. Write the formula 1 by 2 pi integral from 0 to 2 pi f of x dx. So just I wrote the formula for a naught, students, and then I will be substituting this. So 1 by 2 pi 0 to 2 pi. What is f of x here, students? The given function is x squared. So replace f of x by x square. And it is a simple integral. So 1 by 2 pi, what is integral of x square? It is x cubed by 3, right? 0 to 2 pi. So it is equal to 1 by 3 to the 6 pi. X cube means 2 pi the whole cube. So it is 8 pi cube minus 0 cube is 0. So 8 pi cube means it will be 4 pi square by 3, isn't it? Correct? So what is value of a naught? 4 pi square by 3. So just you have to integrate f of x, students. In different problems, f of x will be different. Okay. Any doubt at this step? Okay, now the next one is an, right? Right, formula for an 1 by pi 0 to 2 pi f of x. What it is? Cos nx. This is also ready-made formula. Yes.
Ma'am, for this interval is 0 to 2 pi. So the formula should be from 0 to 4 pi, no? for A naught, the limits.
No. 0 to 2 pi. What is the formula I gave you? A naught is 0 to 2 pi only, no? Where is 0 to 4 pi here? Check the formula. 1 by 2 pi integral from 0 to 2 pi only. Why it will become 4 pi?
Okay, I copied the formula wrong, ma'am. Sorry.
Okay, no problem. Any other doubts, students? Please ask your doubts. Because instead of saying afterwards that I have not understood, it is better to clear your doubts now itself. If you not followed some step, if there is any confusion, please clear your doubts. Okay, so this is now ready-made formula for n. Let us substitute now. See, 1 by pi, 0 to 2 pi. What is f of x, students? X square. And this is cos of nx dx. N is a constant, okay? Now, how to go about this? This is not direct, right? So you have to go for Bernoulli's formula. That is integration by parts rule in general. So u will be x square and cos nx will be v. Okay. Now let us simplify. It is 1 by pi constant outside. What is Bernoulli's formula, students? First function, integral of second term. Integral of cos is what? Sin nx upon n. Minus, alternate changes in the signs. Derivative of x square is 2x. Integral of sin nx is minus cos nx by n. But this n is already there. So it will become n square. Any doubt, please ask me. Now next sign is plus. Now see, don't make this plus, this and this plus at this step. Whatever adjustment you have to do, you do it in the next step. So plus minus plus. Derivative of 2x is 2. Derivative of cos is plus sign, but this minus sign will carry forward. Sin of nx by n, but this will be n cube. Now 2 is a constant. Its next derivative will become 0, right? So we will not continue for the next term. Any doubt for this step, students? Bernoulli's first function, integral of second function, minus derivative of previous derivative, integral of previous integral, plus derivative of previous derivative, integral of previous integral. Okay? Now it's time to put the limits. Upper limit is 2 pi. So 1 by pi. Now see, students, instead of putting the limits, can you tell me which terms will vanish for 2 pi? Because see, this will be what? Sin of 2n pi. This will be sin of 2n pi. Yes or no? And what is value of sin of 2n pi? Preksha, what is value of sin of 2n pi? Are you there, Bipin? Bipin,
Zero.
what is value of sin? 0, right? So I can say that first term will vanish, okay, and the last term will vanish when I put x is equal to 2 pi. Is it okay if I write like this directly? You will understand. Middle term, what will happen? Minus into minus will become plus. 2 to the 4 pi, and this will be cos of 2n pi upon n square. Why first and the last term is becoming 0? All of you understood, because it is sin of 2n pi. If you want, you can write there as sin of 2n pi is equal to 0. First term and the last term for the upper limit is becoming 0. Minus. Now let us see what happens for the lower limit. Lower limit is 0, students, right? But 0 into anything is 0, you know. So first term will be 0. Second term also will be 0. Third term, what will happen? What is sin of 0? Sin of 0 is also 0. So all terms in the second bracket will become 0. Right? Any doubt in the substitution?
Green is blur, ma'am.
Right. Blur, blur. How it becomes blur in between? Still blur? Still blur? Now? It's not okay now?
No.
Okay, but till here you have taken no. Now let me complete at least an, bn you can do at home because you have to just substitute value of f of x. Now see what happens here, students. This pi will get cancelled, right? It's just a simplification step I will complete. So 4 by n square. What is cos of 2n pi? Who will tell me what is cos of 2n pi?
1.
1, because 2n is even number, so it is 1. So what is value of an? It is 4 by n square. Okay? So you got a naught and an. Now what is remaining? bn is remaining, right? So what is formula for bn? Formula for bn is 1 by pi 0 to 2 pi f of x sin of nx dx. Even if it is done now, you have this formula with you, right? Now you have to replace x by x square, students, and again use one knowledge. And tell me next time what is value of bn you get. Then you need to substitute these three values of a naught, an and bn in your main Fourier series 1, equation number 1. And then I will tell you how to deduce the series which is asked to prove. Okay? So there is no point in continuing, it's time also. It is blur, right, still? Or can I continue with this bn? So will you, okay, so will you all find out bn and tell me next time what it is? And this set of formulas, today I have given you few formulas. So each and every formula you have to use somewhere or the other in this topic. So just by heart the set of formulas, next time answer. Okay. So we'll stop here. I'll check the attendance. This is SETC.
Ma'am,
Hmm.
ma'am, I didn't understand the part of pi square by 12. What is pi square by 12 in the equation?
Where it is? Yeah, that we have to
Pi-
reduce. Yeah, once
So
you
this,
get the
so
Fourier series,
yeah,
once you get the final Fourier series, then you have to find out some substitution for x. And then you can get this series as the answer. Okay, that will be the next part after getting Fourier series. That I will discuss in the next class. Okay?
okay, ma'am.
Yeah. So, okay, give the attendance, students. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, not there. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10, 11, 12. 12 is not there. 13, 14. 12 is there. Okay. 14. 14 is not there. 15, 16. 17, 18. 19, 20. 20, 21, 22. 23, 24. 25, 26. 27, 28. 29, 30. 30. Jeffin is there, 18. 30 is not there. 31, 30 is there. 31, 32. 32. 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 40, 41, 42, 43. The ribs. Okay. Meryl, who is recording the video?
Leonard.
Maynard, yeah. So please post it on the group as well as on this, your Google Classroom. Okay, no problem. Thank you very much. Okay, see you in the next class.